Welcome to this edition of Wealth Creation Investing. My name is Forex Joe. In this session, we're going to be talking about Forex markets, what happens next in 2013. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on the latter part, the last 3 months of 2012 going into 2013 after the U.S. elections, are you prepared for the coming economic collapse and the next Great Depression? I've told people for many years, since 2007, since the real estate bubble and the financial crash of 2008 through 2010, that what happens after this election, possibly in the first 6 to 8 months of 2013, or most certainly in the next 2 to 3 years, will make the previous crash look like a church social. Any financial system based on debt is doomed to fail. There has never been a fiat system in the history of the world that has made it, and we are currently overburden the current fiat system around the world. Today we are living in the greatest debt bubble that the world has ever seen, and if all of a sudden people could not use credit to buy things, our economy would immediately ground to a halt. We've already seen it happen in the crash of 2008 to 2010. $700 billion of stimulus was put in and injected into the system. We now see that the United States of America is over $16 trillion in debt. That averages out to over $50,000 per person, and this debt is going to be left for our children and their children unless something is done drastically. Unfortunately, no debt bubble can last forever. When this current debt bubble finally bursts, faith in the financial system is going to disappear. Credit is going to freeze up, and there's going to be a massive wave of bank failures. Well, the only reason that there hasn't been bank failures so far is because of the stimulus package. You're already seeing what's happening in Greece. You're seeing rioting now in Spain. You're starting to see the repercussions in Europe of what can transpire. Over 50% of people aged 24 to 40 in Greece are unable to find a comparable paying job under today's current market conditions. If you keep being reckless, piling up debt, eventually a day of reckoning comes. That is an absolute. This has continued to be put off as we have the U.S. elections. We have elections coming at the first part of the year in Germany. And folks, there will be a calling day. What has this all got to do with you? Well, unless you start paying attention to what's happening, especially in the U.S. financial system, because it's like a car with no brakes. That is heading straight toward a 5,000-foot drop at 100 miles an hour. You've heard about fiscal cliff. That talk, all of a sudden, the jargon has been going on of late. Folks, it's all going to seem like fun and games to some people until we hit the canyon bottom. Once that happens, nobody will be laughing. What you do today to prepare for this upcoming disaster is going to determine your fate. Economic collapse, a mathematical certainty, and here are the top 5 places where not to be. When this happens, you do not want to be in the Middle East and in Israel. You do not want to be in Southern California. You definitely don't want to be in England, New York City, or Washington, D.C. You see, Americans spent 8.4% of their household income on gasoline last year when gas averaged an all-time high of $3.51 a gallon. We are currently right around that area or above that number. That's double the percentage a decade ago. There are close to 50 million Americans living below the poverty line, and only 47% of the U.S. workforce is fully employed at this point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to challenge each and every one of you. Many of you today's world are locked into careers where just going to their job brings on massive unhappiness or depression. 2013 and beyond will create many new millionaires in the Forex markets due to uncertainty in the world. And what I want to challenge each and every one of you is to come learn the Big Lights strategy to become a Big Lights trader in the most liquid market on earth today. The Forex market is a $4 trillion a day market. It runs from Sunday night all the way to Friday afternoon. It is 24/7. It is not even remotely compared to the stock market, which is only open 6.5 or 7 hours a day around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, where there might be $30 billion a day traded on the New York Stock Exchange, when you try to put it in perspective, $4 trillion a day is unbelievable. It would have been a decade ago, it would have been unfathomable even 20 years ago. But the fact that the U.S. is currently $16 trillion in debt, we are starting to see these numbers that are unbelievable. I used to not believe that we were headed towards this slippery slope, but the facts are that reality is such that it's not going to go away. Each and every one of you have a choice. You can now learn to become the CEO of your bankroll, or in other words, start taking full responsibility for your financial decisions and learn to get out of debt quickly. If you're looking for a sense of direction, then you need to learn the big lights strategy so you can in turn become a big lights trader. Here's wishing that all the pips are with you, and until next time, my name is Forex Joe, and good luck.